A sentry stands the midnight watch on the shore of the Persian Gulf. He is a legionary of Rome, 2,000 miles from home, at the very edge of the world his maps dare to describe. The year is 116 AD, and across the black water, where yesterday there was nothing but haze and fishing villages, there is light, not fire. He knows fire. Fire breathes and flickers. This light is steady, cold. It climbs out of the sea in columns taller than any tower in Rome, taller than the lighthouse of Alexandria, taller than anything men are permitted to build. Hundreds of towers, burning without smoke, arranged like a frozen constellation pulled down to the horizon. He has seen Rome. He has stood in the Forum. He believed until tonight that he served the greatest power in the world. He wakes his centurion. The centurion wakes the legate. And by morning, the report is traveling toward the most dangerous man alive, an emperor who has never lost a war, standing at the edge of the map, looking for one more thing to conquer. So what if the state of Qatar teleported in 116 AD? This is what happens when the Roman Empire, at the absolute peak of its power, finds the modern state of Qatar sitting across the water. Here's the part of this video that is not hypothetical. In the spring of 116 AD, the Emperor Trajan did something no Roman ever did before or after him. He conquered Mesopotamia, took the Parthian capital of Ctesiphon, then loaded his army onto a fleet of ships his engineers had built in pieces and hauled overland between rivers, and sailed down the Tigris until he ran out of land. He reached the Persian Gulf. A tidal wave nearly swallowed his fleet on the way. The local king of Korax took one look at the legions and surrendered without a fight. And there, the historian Cassius Dio tells us, the 63-year-old emperor stood on the shore, watched a merchant ship set sail for India, and said he wished he were younger, so he could keep going, like Alexander. This is Rome's high water mark. The empire will never be larger than it is at this exact moment. 30 legions, roughly 300,000 professional soldiers under arms, 60 to 70 million subjects, something like a quarter of every human being alive. So let's give the old man what he wished for. One night, while the fleet rocks at anchor off Korax, the sky tears open over the Gulf. And when it closes, 700 kilometers down the coast, there is a new peninsula. A small one. You could drive it end to end in 2 hours. On it, glass towers, an artificial island, a port the size of a city, runways, radar domes, and nearly 3 million people who went to sleep in the 21st century and are about to wake up in the second. The state of Qatar has arrived in 116 AD. Let's set the rules of the scenario. Rule 1. Only Qatar makes the jump. Its territory, its waters, its citizens and residents, its own armed forces. The thousands of allied foreign troops normally stationed on its soil, they don't come along. No outside cavalry is riding to anyone's rescue. This is Qatar, alone. Rule 2. No resupply. Nothing comes through the time hole. No spare parts, no contractors, no missile shipments, no food imports. Whatever is in the warehouses on night 1, that is the entire war chest. Every bullet spent is a bullet gone from the universe. Rule 3. No satellites. GPS is gone. The smartest bombs lose some of their intelligence, falling back on inertial and laser guidance. Communications still work. Radios don't need satellites. But the God's eye view modern armies take for granted is dimmer than usual. Rule 4. Victory conditions. Rome wins if Qatar submits. Tribute, client status, a governor's boot on the ground. Qatar wins if Rome abandons the war and recognizes it. Nobody needs to exterminate anybody. Remember that. It matters later. On paper, this is the most lopsided fight we've ever run on this channel. Look closer. It's the closest one. Qatar fields one of the smallest militaries in its region, roughly 16,000 active personnel across every branch, and a large share of those are administrators, technicians, and support staff. The number of actual trigger pullers is a few thousand. That is not an army. That's a rounding error in Roman arithmetic. But look at what those few thousand are holding. 96 modern combat jets, 36 F-15, 36 French Rafales, 24 Eurofighter Typhoons. More top-shelf fighters than many NATO members operate. 62 Leopard 2 A7 tanks. One of the most advanced battle tanks Germany has ever exported. Apache attack helicopters, Patriot air defense batteries, self-propelled howitzers that hit targets 30 kilometers away. a small navy of fast missile craft. Per soldier, this may be the most expensively equipped force on the planet. Now the weakness. And it's the one that decides everything. That entire arsenal assumes a world that no longer exists. Modern jets are maintenance vampires. Hours of skilled labor and a planet-wide supply chain for every hour in the air, with foreign contractors doing much of the deep servicing. That pipeline is gone. From night one, the 96 Jet Air Force begins quietly eating itself. Mechanics cannibalizing one airframe to keep another flying. The fleet doesn't get destroyed in this war. It evaporates. Slowly, one part failure at a time.